Hello and welcome, my name's Sam and this is The Little Greenhouse Creates. Thank you for joining me today. We are on our final project for this week's scrapbook workshop kit of the month, Weekend Adventures. And we're on, as I say, we're on our final scrapbooking page. So let's dig in. So as usual, I've got my instructions. Then we've got all the ephemera that was left. So I've just put them all in here. Some of them we won't use, some of them we will use. And then we've got all our papers and of course my photographs. So we've got strips, gallons of strips, many strips. So we'll go through those in a moment. We've got some green backing card. We've got some white. I'll explain about that in a second. And then we've got my photographs. So my daughter is at the moment in uni studying acting, and it's a passion of hers she's always had since she was about 4 years old, really. And on this occasion, back in 2017, she gave up Christmas and New Year to be in Panto, and it was Wind in the Willows. So these are the photographs. So I wanted to document this occasion. So I've got those to put aside. Now I know it doesn't go with the wandering, but it's all based in the woods and I felt that the colouring would work quite well. So that's why I've gone for this. So maybe some of the words might not work, but we'll see. So the first thing we need to do is pop these aside and add our removable glue dots to the corners. All right, where's that gone? There it is. So we're going to put these removable glue dots top left, bottom right on both of my mats. So top left, bottom right. And the reason I do this is so that it saves my paper from moving around. Oh, it keeps my paper from moving around, and then it makes life so much easier when you're trying to stick other things down. There we go. Right, let's tear that off and put that back so I don't get it mixed up with my other glue dots. Perfect. Right, so again we have got this wood grain and it is one-sided, so this is only for the workshop kit. You won't find it in the normal papers. So make sure your grains are going the same direction, always a good look. Right, so we've stuck those down. Okay, so then there's this white piece of paper that's been cut on a wonk. And then we've got this piece that is also done the same. Now, before I stick this piece, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll stick this piece down first with my stamp and seal. I'm just going to put little bits in. I don't want it to... There we go. I'm going to pop it in the corner. Now, this double page spread is ideal for if you've got lots of papers left over, little bits. The next section we're going to do will work so well with that. Right, okay. So this piece of paper we're going to decorate with some strips. She says, and what she done with them, there you are. So some of the strips came in the ephemera. So you've got these ones. So these came in the ephemera. Then they got you to cut down ones through using the paper that was supplied. And I'm just going to, and you need to work these in a sort of pattern. Let's put that in there. Okay. I'm going to work in a pattern form, sticking these down onto this piece of paper. So let's see what we can do. Right, okay. So we're going to work down the slide. I'm going to use my stamp and seal while we work, just to make things a little bit easier. So you're just going to stick the first one down, obviously making sure that it is following the line of the cut. That's the first one. I'm going to put that down. I just want to make sure these are going in before I stick them down in case I need to remove them. 2, green. Yeah, I am. So I'm just going to lever that one up just a little bit. Doesn't matter too much if it, there we go, is too much, because obviously I am going to cover the glue up. So if it tears, it's not too bad. That bit I can wriggle out with a glue. Oh look, it's come off even easier. Right, let's do that again. And that one's going to go there, that one's going to go there, that one's going to go there, which means that I can then add this bit to here. Right, so let's put them down. 1, 2, 3, and a tiny bit to go on the end. Okay, so let's stuck down. Let's stick these ones down. So as I said, this will be ideal if you've got lots of scraps sitting around and you're thinking, what on earth do I do with these? These are 3 inches by 1 inch. So each of these is 3 inches by 1 inch, and you can just cover your paper. It's similar to the one we did with hexagons. That is another one that's quite good. To use up lots of scraps. Sorry, there was a pregnant pause there. Apologies. It's that time of day where I'm absolutely concentrating. So I'm just going to put a bit of there so I don't need to worry about sticking it down. So that's going to go to there. Okay. So the next one we're going to do is we're going to go back. So that was that one. So we're going to have one of these. That's going to come across here like that. And we're going to bring that one into there. So I'm laying them almost like you would with bricks. That's that one. Right, again, I think I need to move that one up just a touch. Because what we do want is a little bit of the paper showing through. Okay, then you've got that one, which is going to come to there. I'm going to take this one across to there. And we've got the green. It's going to go down there. And then we've got a little bit of blue, which will go onto there. Excellent. So let's glue those down for a quick second. I'm going to put the camera on pause and then I will come back to you. Bear with me. So I have now stuck all these down. So my tip to you is when you're sticking these down, don't stick the double-sided sticky tape or this onto the actual strips. Just put a bit where you think it's going to go. It makes life so much easier. So as you notice, I've got bits hanging over. So now what I need to do is bring in my sharp scissors, and I'm just going to cut those off at the edges. So let's do that now. One. There we go. Turn that around, and then we can do the same here. Because what I was conscious of that I had put glue on the bit like this bit here, and it was sticking down, which is never a good look. So that one, and then we can bring this edge in. There you go, that's that sorted. Right, so that's all that stuck down nicely. Great. Now I'm going to stick that over to here. I seem to have picked up a bit of ink off my scissors, which is very annoying. Let's just do that quickly. Right, let's stick that down. One of those days where everything I touch is going slightly skew-if. So I'm going to stop the camera again. and I'm going to go and wash my hands. Bear with me. Okay, my hands are duly washed, and I've got rid of the ink off my fingers, so we can get on with. So these pieces we're going to use on this scratch, on this section here. So the thing to do now is to add our photographs. So you know I was saying to you that things weren't going right. I managed to cut that in the wrong size. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to jut these two up like so. I'm going to bring in my double-sided sticky tape, and I'm going to run that down there like so, holding it together. And then hopefully when I use it, it won't be, this split won't show. Well, that is the thinking behind my thought. So I've got this piece, which I'm going to have probably around about 2 3/4. So we've got 1, 2, 3/4. So it's about 9 inches. I'm just going to pop it there, I think. Let's double check. You know, I'm going to move it up because it's going to lose something. So I'm going to move it up. Let's use it at 1.5. So let's do it to about there. Lovely. Should bring it over a bit. Perfect. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to add the glue. So a stripe through there and a stripe through there. Down to about there. And you can see all the colours. And then the larger of the green goes into backs that piece. So let's do that. That's that one. Oh, little squeak from the bootsy. And then I'm going to add my picture of there. Okay, lovely. Let's do that then. Just try not to run Bella over. I work on these, what do you call them? Chairs with wheels, and so it makes my life easier to move around. But unfortunately, Bella decides that she wants to be the one that sits right underneath them, which is very, very difficult to try and work with. Right, okay, so let's put this one down. So now I've glued it, so let's do it down to that there. Okay, so let's stick our stick over there. There we go. Now if you want to, obviously you could take the strip off, but I'm not going to worry. And I'm going to put this one probably, let's have a look. Let's go for 2 and then down to here. Maybe a bit lower. No, let's do it to about there. Okay, make sure that's straight. And then we are going to mat our photographs. So I have got this one to go on here. Let's do that now. So these photographs aren't just one day. They are over the Christmas and New Year period. And we went to all of the occasions. So I just mixed them up together. So I'm not going to give it a specific number, but it will just be December 2017. Because this one was taken on the 27th. That one was taken on the 28th. That one was taken on the 30th. So we're just going to do it like that. I have other photographs as well, so I'm going to use, I've got this to go over. I've got my flip flaps, and these will go over like so. All right. But they'll go on the outside of the come on, what do we call it? Outside of the the sleeve. It's been very hot over here in the UK, and my brain has been confuddled. I mean, I love the heat, but some of the heat has been a little bit too much for us, I have to say. You can always tell a British person they talk about the weather. We do have other things to talk about, but our weather changes so quickly that it does make a difference to us. Right, so that is our pieces stuck together. So now we can add our ephemera. So I've still got, well, I've got 4 pieces rather than 3 pieces. I've got 4 pieces to go. So I could put my trees under there. And that will bring in the trees from over here. And then I've got brown. Do it that way. And then there. So it's similar to what I'm doing. Okay. You hear the magpies having a good old squawk. I wonder if my cat's outside. Okay, so the ephemera, let's see what we've got to bring in. So we have got Day Well Spent. Now it should go over there. So I'm going to put it there, see how I feel, because I was thinking I might have it there. Then it covers up that mark, doesn't it? So let's see. Let's leave it there for the moment and see how we're going. Then, as I said, there are lots of things. I have this bunting, which could go here. Then that would match the bunting that goes on here. And they are just stickers, which you just peel off and you just stick them down. So that's thought there. Then I've got my journaling. That should go. Probably, it's difficult, isn't it? If I put the bunting there, the journaling should go there. Do I just put a few bits of the bunting there? Let's try that. Then, what else have we got? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. So I've got this lovely heart, which I really like. It goes there. And then I've got another little heart which can go over the edge there. Well, it's definitely family time when it's panto, isn't it? So let's have a look. I could go down here or there. Well, that's definitely a group photo. What else can we do? Now I've got a jug. And there's a cup here somewhere I saw. Yeah, she's there. So I could use those, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So let's pop those aside for a second. This says Weekend Escape, so it could go there. Looks like a ticket, doesn't it? For so it could be the ticket. Okay, so let's leave that there. Take to the Trails isn't really going to work. Treasured Spot's not going to work. I've got this, which I could put under there, like that. Then I need another one that could go there. Might put it over there. It's definitely not Camping Life. Unwind. There's another mug. What else have I got? So Having Fun. We could have Having Fun, couldn't we? Let's have a see. Where could we put that? No. I'm going to put that up there. That will slip underneath. What else have I got? I've got some strips which I can put some journaling on. So I could put where we were, or I could put it all on there. I've got some arrows. As you can see, there's so much left over that you don't actually have to use it all. And you can use it on other other things. Do I change that? No, I'll leave that one there. And I've got another little thing there. Acorn, nature walk, not really. Happy day. I don't want to throw too much on it. Better together, no, not really. Explore. Right, I think I'm going to stick with what I've got. I'm going to stick this all down and I will come back and I will write my journaling there as well. So I'll catch up with you in a second. Okay, so we're back. So everything is stuck down. I haven't done the journaling just as yet. I'm going to put this one up so you can actually see the bunting that I've put down there because it's just slightly off camera. And yeah, I think that works really well. I'm liking this. And as I said, this piece here, you could use any pieces of paper. You could use all of it to work on any project, really. So another really versatile project. And I'm liking this. So thank you ever so much for joining me today. And I look forward to catching up with you next week when we'll have our stamp set of the week again. So whatever you do for the rest of the week, stay safe and happy crafting. Take care. Bye.